Hello peoples, this is Sonic732, and finally, welcome back to another episode. Let's play Final Fantasy IV for the SNES. And last episode, we escaped hell. Sid killed himself, Yang killed himself, everyone died because Final Fantasy IV just loves killing off their main cast of characters. Yay. And, we got a new airship that has a grappling hook attached to it, which, we can finally pull up this land speeder Edward gave to us a while back. Which, gives some purpose to this thing, because hooray. And either way, though, in today's episode, we're going to be heading to this random cave over here. I kind of forgot what the cave was called. Was it called, like, Elden Cave? Olden Cave? I really forgot what it's called. It just has some really, like, Zelda-y type name. It's called Cave Elban. There, that's what it's called. Yeah, Cave Elban. So, yeah, either way, though, in today's episode, we're going to be going to Cave Elban and exploring this place, because that's what we do in Final Fantasy. Explore caves, kill off characters, slay monsters, fight a boss, and be a complete and utter badass. But yeah, either way though, it really does feel good to be back in Final Fantasy IV, because for like the past month actually, I really haven't put an episode, and I keep saying this, but at this point it feels like my apology isn't really that much of a valid excuse. I am sorry. School and social life has definitely been like hindering my ability to make videos, and this week that the episode's getting released on, holy crap, this week is gonna be a nightmare to make videos because of more like quarterly week, where I get tested on everything for the third marking period, and I know I'm gonna fail those tests horribly. So making videos this week is definitely gonna be the biggest challenge of my life. So every chance I get, I will attempt to make a video. But I'm not promising anything special this week, especially at Final Fantasy IV, because if you guys don't know, Final Fantasy IV honestly takes the most time to make, because for one thing, I gotta play the game for like an hour straight, and I also gotta remember also gotta remember like really crucial details. For example, like say for example I stop during the gameplay, and like I stop and have to like look up something. I don't want to leave me stopping in the video, so like I gotta remember like, oh, I stopped at like this particular point in the game, or like I ran into this encounter, I gotta edit this one out. So definitely takes a lot longer in that kind of sense. Editing these videos also takes a while, because like I just said, editing out the same encounters takes a while, and that's maybe a good minute of me editing that out. And just the fact that I gotta record, I gotta record these videos, process the videos, record my post commentary of these videos, and then process them again with the post commentary. It's definitely a challenge. Like, holy crap, it's a humongous challenge. And yeah, so it takes me a good like day to make these videos. Unlike the other ones, which I can make like 3 in one day and have them set for like 3 specific days. With these, I can only make maybe 1 or 2 per day, and it also depends on my schedule. Oh yeah, crap. Plus, right now I am kind of hungry and I'm kind of salty. Mainly because I've been out this entire day. So I went to the movies today, and I saw like 2 movies. One was Batman vs Superman, and the other one was this movie called Miracles from Heaven. Yeah, I know it's a very Christian-y movie. Yeah, it's basically the movie was basically Love Jesus. That's basically all the movie was. So I just got back and I am really tired, but I have to record Final Fantasy IV for you guys. So I'm recording it now. Hopefully I can get this video out by tonight, which is Saturday night. I probably am not, because just recording this post commentary and then processing the video, that's gonna take a while, and then uploading, I have no idea how this uploading is gonna be. But yeah. So if it sounds like I'm talking really fast, I know I am. I'm sorry. It's just right now I'm really annoyed because I saw Batman vs Superman today, and the movie just it just annoyed me. It annoyed me so much. I would really want to talk about it, but I'm pretty sure there's a large majority of you who hasn't seen the movie yet, because everyone this week is watching the movie. I was actually really lucky to see the movie, because every showtime me and my dad looked up, they were all taken. Like, all the showtimes they were booked, and we managed to find one showtime that was which was at a decent time. So we went to go see it, and I really just don't even know. Okay, you know what? It's been a day. Probably by the time this video goes up, it'd be 2 days after BVS came out. If you haven't seen it already, stop watching this video, because I'm going to spoil the ever-living crap out of that movie. And I got some serious stuff to talk about, because there hasn't really been any new Final Fantasy news, so I gotta find something to talk about during these videos. So, yeah, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, stop watching this video now, watch the movie, and then if you want, I say, come back to watch this video, because some interesting stuff happens. We meet a new character. Yeah, so this video is important. So if you haven't seen the movie already, stop watching, watch the movie, then come back. Or if you don't really care because Batman and Superman aren't really your cup of tea, just keep watching. You're gonna meet new character either way. But yeah, either way though. So Batman versus Superman, and yes, spoiler right now, spoilers beyond belief. So the movie, it was okay. Like I've had low expectations for Batman vs Superman for the longest time because the novelty of the idea, I see the novelty in it, but I also see what they're doing with their movies. Because DC movies, I'm not gonna lie, if you're not a big fan of dialogue, then DC movies are not for you. DC movies are for the people that they could sit in the movie theater, they could have their characters to have like all the exposition in the world. They like the dialogue, so that's what DC markets towards. For me, I like dialogue, but DC has too much of it. That's kind of the reasons why I didn't like the Dark Knight trilogy, especially the Dark Knight Rises, because that movie could suck a pair of balls for how boring that movie was. And BVS, it's the same really the same thing. The beginning and middle, it was just dialogue. It was essentially dialogue. There were hints of action in the beginning and middle, and for the most part, I will say, when there was action, the action was really, it was well done. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the ending battle with, like, Doomsday, for as much crap has the internet given Doomsday from that trailer that came out back in, like, December, which, by the way, screw that trailer, the Doomsday fight was good. It was really good. It saw what the Justice League movie could be like. And I was like, well, I'm fairly impressed. I really thought it was good. But, because it's a Zack Snyder movie, the camera guy does not know what it means to keep a steady camera. And he kept shaking it. And then Zack Snyder was like, we need more debris. Put debris everywhere. And then some debris got in the middle of a camera shot. And I couldn't really see what was happening. Mixed in with, that guy that has the most shakiest hands. And, but besides that, though, the final fight with Doomsday, it was good. It was really well choreographed. I fairly enjoyed it. And yeah, but I still think Doomsday looks like an orc from Lord of the Rings, because CG is that was some really bad CG. Plus, I also hate the fact that Doomsday is Zod, and they use Doomsday really soon. They should have saved Doomsday for a Justice League. But after watching the movie, I still think they should have saved Doomsday for a Justice League. But based on what happened during the movie, I could honestly see why they had to use Doomsday for this movie. Because, like, in terms of the movie's title, and honestly, my biggest problem with this movie is the title, Batman vs. Superman. Because the beginning and the middle, it was basically like the Cold War. That's the best way I could describe this movie. It was like the Cold War, because there was conflict, but the conflict never escalated between Batman and Superman that much. It was basically Batman doesn't like Superman because he, if you've seen the trailers, Superman kind of demolished Batman's building and killed off a lot of innocent people. So Bruce Wayne kind of hates Superman for that. So you have Bruce Wayne, which he hates Superman, and he did technically say it to his face at the one party scene. But it never really escalated that much. And there was also another scene where Batman was chasing these guys, and Superman comes in, and then they're both staring each other down, and Superman goes away. He's like, "You bleed, you will." And there was that. And then Superman, he's kind of dealing with the whole entire political side of this movie, where should Superman stay because of all the collateral damage he has. So it was basically that. And then you had Lex Luthor, which, by the way, I really don't like who they cast as Lex Luthor. So, like, I remember back when this movie was first announced, and they announced that Ben Affleck was Batman. The internet, of course, went up in flames. But I could say for sure that in terms of the movie, Batman was kind of the best parts of the movie. I really did love Ben Affleck as Batman. As much as I would have hated to say that 2-3 years ago when the movie was first conceptualized, Batfleck, I totally prefer Batfleck over the Christian Bale Batman, who kind of talks like this. Like, this isn't really menacing, it's kind of funny. But, with Batfleck, he has that voice synthesizer, which, gives him the deep voice, and honestly, it's really good. So, I could get down with Ben Affleck as Batman. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, I'm not gonna lie, I was pleasantly surprised by that. She had a really cool scene where, like, she was using her sword against Doomsday, and she had, like, the lasso of truth. That was really cool. And then you had Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, which I really I don't know what was going through Zack Snyder's head when he was like, you know what, I want Jesse Eisenberg to be Lex Luthor. I could totally see you as Lex Luthor. No, he isn't Lex Luthor. This guy, it's like he was trying to be the Joker. It's like he auditioned for the Joker, didn't get the part, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna stick it to Zack Snyder. I'm gonna be the Joker, but I'm also gonna be Lex Luthor. And it really didn't work out. There were at times where, you know, he was trying to be menacing, but just because of like that high pitched voice he has, I was laughing and I was cringing most of the time because his lines were really questionable. They were really questionable in terms of the script. So, you know, then you have Lex Luthor. Back to what I was saying before about like the conflict. Then you had Lex Luthor, which somehow figured out that Bruce Wayne was Batman and that Clark Kent was Superman, and he was trying to get them to fight. And then the actual fight itself, it was like 5 minutes maybe. Okay, 5 minutes is probably an exaggeration. Maybe a good 10 minutes. Like, it was basically Superman comes over to ask for, Batman for help because Lex Luthor kidnapped his mom. Big whoop there. Then, you know, stuff escalates even more. Batman punches Superman a bit. Superman punches Batman a bit. Batman has the upper hand. Then, you know, I'm not going to lie. I thought the movie was going to end where, you know, this is how I thought the movie was going to end. I thought it was going to be like Batman and Superman fighting. Doomsday comes out of nowhere because Doomsday's in the movie. Then Batman is like, oh no, there's a bigger threat, Superman. We got to team up. And Superman is like, I agree. And then Wonder Woman shows up out of nowhere. But the way the movie handles it, you know, Doomsday comes in later, like, you know, after the fight's resolved, and then the reason why Wonder Woman is there is kind of a legitimate reason. But I wouldn't really say it's a legitimate reason. It's, you know, a better reason than what I thought. And that's a new character. I'll get into his name later. Anyway, either way though, this guy is Edge. So Edge is, I guess you could say, the ninja of this game, where basically he has two swords. He could do ninja stuff like steal, throw stuff. I think ninjutsu is one of his things, like flame, yeah. And, you know, he's going to be a new party member, so hooray, yeah. But yeah, either way, back to BVS. So the fight happens. Then the reason why they stopped fighting, it wasn't Doomsday, which, you know, I'll give them props for that because that would have been a little too predictable. But this reason, I still don't know if I want to give this reason credibility, because it's something that no one really has ever thought of, but at the same time, it seemed like the biggest cop-out. So, like, Batman's mom is Martha. Batman's name's mom is Martha, and Superman's mom's name is Martha. So, like, you know, Lex Luthor kidnapped Superman's mom, who's Martha, and then Batman's beating the crap out of Superman, and then Superman's like, Martha, we gotta say Martha, and then Batman was like, why you say that name? What? Tell me who it is. And then Lois Lane comes out of nowhere, and she's like, that's the name of Superman's mom. And then Batman's like, oh no, you know, my mom's name was Martha too. She died. I won't let your Martha die. And then that's the reason why they stopped fighting. And, you know, I'll give Zack Snyder credit because that was a unique reason of why they stopped fighting, but at the same time, that seemed like the biggest cop-out. And because the movie's name is Batman v Superman, and the fight only lasted like 10 minutes, that it doesn't deserve to be called Batman v Superman. It's more like Batman and Superman talk smack, and they're not face-to-face, and then they might fight. And then the Dawn of Justice kind of takes first, because I'm not going to lie, I'm not really sure how the internet feels about Marvel setting up movies like that. Like, I know Age of Ultron kind of got a little flack for that because of that Thor Ragnarok thing, but like, this movie tried really hard to set up a Justice League movie. It tried unbelievably hard, from that nightmare scene, which kind of made no sense if you had no idea what they were trying to go for, but if you were like me, who had a little idea of what they were going for, which honestly, if they go down that route, I don't know how I'll feel. But whether it was from that nightmare scene or the fact that the other Justice League members get cameos, like there was that scene with The Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg, which I will give them props. The Flash and Cyborg do look really cool, but then there was Aquaman's thing, which was more like him looking at a camera, and I don't really know. And then, you know, obviously there was the fact of, like, Lex Luthor saying, he's coming, and yeah, I really don't even know. It's like they were trying too hard to set up the future for DC, when they should have kind of focused more on the Batman v Superman part rather than the Dawn of Justice part. And yeah, I mean, that was it. And like I said before, beginning and middle were like they were really, really long. Like, some of the scenes dragged out way too long, and I was just like, I want to see some action. I want to see Superman do Superman stuff. I want to see Batman do Batman stuff. And like I said before, when they did action really, really well. But I will say some of the action scenes, they didn't annoy me. They made me feel kind of weird, if that's the best way I could put it. Because in this movie, and this is actually a really controversial thing that I've been hearing a lot of critics say about the movie, or at least internet critics, that Batman actually kills in this movie. Like, they don't actually show Batman, like, beat a guy to death, but there is a lot of implied deaths in this movie, and for good reasons. Like, there's literally a scene where Batman's on, like, the Batmobile, and then he's chasing down one of LexCorp's trucks, and then he literally rams Batmobile first into a car with people in them, flips over the car, then grapples that car, and then drags the car on the street, and I'm pretty sure there were people in there, and then he literally flips the car he's dragging over onto another car with people in them, and I'm pretty sure they get crushed and die. And it's kind of weird, too, because you see Batman use guns. Like, it's not like the Arkham games where, his gun has electricity. No, this guy, he literally uses guns. I'm not just counting the nightmare scene, but, there's also scenes where, Batman's taking out mooks, and then he uses, a mook's gun to, shoot another mook off in the distance, and then, yeah, it's really brutal. Like, this is one of the most brutal Batmans, and to be honest, I still don't know how I feel for that. Because, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty cool seeing Batman be like that, but at the same time, it made me feel a little dirty because, we've been living this rule. It's like a universal rule where Batman doesn't kill, and then in this movie, you clearly see Batman kill. It's like, whoa. It's so weird. Plus, I also got to mention at the beginning, within the first 2 minutes of the movie, I was already rolling my eyes because, DC or anyone doing another Batman movie in the future, please don't show us Batman's parents' death anymore. We've seen that so many times. At this point, it's common knowledge already. Everyone has seen Batman's parents die so many times that we're tired of it. The novelty of it has grown away. And they start the movie like that. I was just like, come on, I want to see something different. I don't care that Batman's parents die. We all know that. It's just it's so it's unnecessary at this point. Just like origin stories of Batman and Superman. We already know who they are. We don't need an origin story. We don't need to see Batman's parents die, but that's how they start off the movie. And I was just sitting there I really don't want to watch this again. I've seen this in a million Batman movies. Just come on, give me something new. And then, they go to transition to the scene where Batman's driving through Metropolis getting destroyed. And I'm not gonna lie though, I really did like that scene because, that scene in the movie, it basically showed, and at least in Man of Steel, it showed, all citizens cowering in fear, and then, Bruce Wayne was the only one that actually tried to save his family or whatever. I'm not really family, more like co-workers, but, it gave us something different. And I like seeing that. But that's really all I gotta say about Dawn of Justice. But my final verdict is that the movie, it's okay. If I were you, see it. See the movie, judge for yourself, because right now, the internet has a lot of polarizing opinions. I've seen more negative than positive, but like I said, whenever the movie did something really, really good, it did something really, really good. The fight scenes, that ending fight scene with Doomsday. Oh, but I gotta talk about it, but the video's almost over, so I gotta make this quick. Ending. You know what? I'm not gonna spoil the ending. You guys watch the movie for yourself, see what the ending is. Make it what you will. For me, I was more annoyed than anything at the ending. They did that too soon. If you wonder what I'm talking about, see the movie for yourself, then judge it for yourself. But for me, the ending, it was, oof. It was something else. But, I thought it was okay. Definitely not as bad as people make it out to be. But at the same time, definitely not as awesome as other people make it out to be. If I were you, see the movie just for yourself, and yeah. But this episode is ending really, really, really soon. So as soon as I turn around this corner, I open the box and monsters. So guys, if you like what you see here, like, comment, subscribe, do what you want. And next time on Final Fantasy IV, we're going to be finding out what's in the box and finding out what we're going to find in the Tower of Babel again. So peace out, peoples, and bye-bye.